treat for you. Today we are going to have a TVZ on the map Sejong Station between two amazing players. So let's introduce them. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the map we find a red Terran player. It is Complain from Cascade 1bet. Now Complain is an Israeli player, performing pretty well. He came very close in the WCS qualifiers. Unfortunately he was knocked out of those, so he did not qualify for Challenger League, but definitely a player to watch out for. And his opponent, a little bit more well known, it is going to be the blue Zerg player, currently teamless as far as I know. It is Violet. Now Violet, of course, hailing from Korea, currently living in America as far as I know in that regard. I do have to admit, I don't follow Violet everywhere he goes, and I bet that he's very happy about that. But some TVZ action is about to go down, of course, on a beautiful map, Sejong Station. Now this is a very nice map for Reapers for sure, because there is this area at the front of the main base where you can of course jump in and out with that Reaper. The ramp towards the natural is pretty wide, and of course Reapers do get a little bit of delay moving forward after they jumped up that ledge, so no problems like that can arise. And we do see that little step up in the back of the base where a Reaper also can jump up and off. But I don't believe that we will see that Reaper pop out, because there's no refinery started just yet for Complain. Violet on the other side of the map did go for that hatchery first. That is a very standard play, because this is only going to get killed off or really harassed by a proxy 2 racks or an extremely early Reaper that has to do damage. So no shenanigans whatsoever are going to go down. Violet, however, does have to be very careful with this Overlord, because if that Overlord gets into the main base of Complain, there is already one Marine out. There's a second Marine going to be on the way, but Violet is paying close attention, getting that Overlord over the high ground, making sure that no harm can come to it. Oh, he is sending it now forward though. That's a little bit confusing there. Oh, he does hold it there. Gets a nice view of that ramp, sees everything that leaves the base of Complain, and still can go to the main, onto the high ground whenever Marines are going to get close. But the barracks is going to fly towards it. A very nice move from Complain. But DPS from these Marines is not going to be enough to kill it off, I do believe. He does get pretty low. He's really going to chase this down. Wow. That is also, of course, a lot of lost production time. He's not going to have too many units out. The barracks will turn around. It doesn't have to chase that far down, but this Marine is going to get the kill on this Overlord after all. Just a few more shots, but a lot of Zerglings were already made. There are 6 more Zerglings on the way. No Reaper to scout this out. I don't believe that there was any scout from Complain whatsoever. No, he does not know that this is coming, so he will know about it last minute. The bunker not quite done just yet, and the Zergling speed has started, but no Zergling speed on these just yet. Oh, the Marines do get into that bunker. The SV getting chased down a little bit and finishing up that wall off, so Violet cannot get close. Now also no bailing nest on the production tab just yet. The Marines getting into an amazing position. They take a little bit of damage, but that is okay, as long as the Zerglings do not, as long as they don't all get into the main base. Still 3 of them do manage to squeeze through, but already pretty damaged, so the SVs will most likely be able to kill off the rest of them. He's not even going to bother. The Marines are going to finish this off. Now Zergling speed is getting pretty close to finishing up. Looking at the current unit tab, there are only 5 Zerglings out, so the aggression from Violet did not do a whole lot, pretty much did nothing at all, just scared Complain a little bit. And he did warn him, if you don't scout me, if you don't know what is coming, that can be a very big mistake right there. Violet still has that 1 Zergling, it does die off right there. So we do see that the 3rd base is going to come down. The factory in this setup is insanely late, so Hellion harassment is pretty much a no-go, which means that the 3rd base can be put down quite a bit earlier. But now we do see that the factory is on the production tab, and that Stimpak is on the way, which means that we will see Bio from Complain, and of course churning out those units from the 3 barracks that he started off with. Now for Violet, in the back of his base, he is getting that Baneling Nest. He's mining gas off of 2 gas geysers right now. One in the main, one in the natural. He of course does that to keep his opponent guessing a little bit. If he does see that this gas geyser is not being mined from with a scan, he might think that there he's mining off of 3 gas geysers, but it is 2 in this case. But now the third base is already getting pretty close to finishing up. Some Zerglings are now on the production tab. And he might want to go for a little bit of an attack, but in the current setup, I would just imagine that we will see drones behind this. Well, 24 Zerglings on the way. He's going into the evolution chamber, so this is not going to be an all-in build from Violet at all. But he does not want to be caught off guard, of course. The Overlord still in position. If he lifts that barracks, that Overlord is going to get killed off in no time with the amount of Marines that is currently out. Also, the 1-1 already started for Complain inside his main base, safe and sound, a little bit ahead of time of the +1 melee attack upgrade for the Zerglings and Banelings. Now the extra gas do get added on. Drones are currently at 50, while the SCV count is at 44. I don't believe that there is a third command center just yet. Now only 2 orbital commands. Third one just being started right now. Not in position, of course, but a little bit closer to the barracks and to the bio units of Complain. Now there will be a Zergling for Violet scouting this out. He wants to know exactly when that third base is going to go down. And this is also exactly the reason why you get the command center a little bit closer, playing it a little bit more safe. But a double medevac drop is going to be heading towards the bases of Violet. Lair only halfway done at the 10-minute mark, so that Spire is not going to be on the map anytime soon. There is, however, a Spore and a Queen here for the early defense, but still there can be some damage done if the Zerglings and Banelings are not in position. So definitely has to be very careful with that. He's forcing out units at the least. A few extra drones we're just finishing up, but we are going to see only Zerglings for a little while right now, just to make sure that Violet is safe from this attack. 2 medevacs with Stimpack, and of course the 1-1 done can do a whole lot of damage. Also behind this, the armory is gonna come down for, of course, the 2-2 upgrades. But Violet's gonna move in. He does not have speed for those Banes. Not at all, though. The Marauders are staying on the ground, trying to soak up some Baneling hits. But no Banelings were really detonating on that. And that was a pretty good engagement for Violet already. And I don't think that this squad from Complain can do a whole lot right now. But he has to still be very careful. Keep a close eye on the medevacs that are moving closer. He's pushing at 2 different sides right now. But this army from Violet is large enough to deal with those Marauders. And the Zerglings will still be able to deal with those Marines, as long as he can keep close to that. That's another benefit of that little step right there. Violet will be relying on melee units for quite a while, until of course a Spire comes out. That means that if there are Marines on that plateau right there, he cannot get to them. But the Marines do get busted by those Banelings, and the medevacs all have to return back home. And we're going to continue this macro game a little bit. But Complain is getting his first Widow Mines out now too. And he wants to move forward across the map. Behind this, he is getting his third base up. And his work account is looking pretty good. Violet is not really at the work account that he wants to be at. 69, sure, is still a very good economic position to be in. But he would much rather have a few extra workers to get the economic edge really going for him. Also, those Mutalisks are so late in this game. The Widow Mines will start hammering down on these forces. Wow, such a great Widow Mine detonation right there. Killing off 5 units right there. Most of those were Banelings. The scan is going to come down to clear out a little bit of creep. He does not know about the 4th base that is being attempted right now. Well, 1 Queen is going to be very lucky right here, but he stims forward, takes out the Queens. Took out a few of those Banelings before getting out of there, but this time the Mutalisks are out, and a full medevac does get taken out. A little bit unlucky with the load up inside those medevacs, and no way that Complain can trade cost efficiently here. But those Mutalisks not focusing on those medevacs completely, and the reinforcements will be able to take out quite a few of those Mutalisks. But still, supplies being dead even. 2-2 about to be done for Complain. And of course, he can go into 3-3 immediately. Violet is going to be working off a deficit once that is done. Because he is getting his 2-2. But you need an infestation pit to go up to Hive. And you need that Hive to start your 3-3 upgrades. So that is a timing window in which Complain will have a significant upgrade advantage. And let's see if he can really use that to get ahead. Because if it gets to the late game, then Violet will be getting a big edge right there. But the Zerglings want to go for the engagement. He's off of the creep, and I'm not quite sure how I like this. The Widowmine shots are going to be devastating. They're taking out so many units at the time. And the Banelings, of course, pretty slow off of that creep. They cannot really the Banelings cannot really connect to this Bioforce. And he lifts up once again. Some nice Baneling detonation still, but they are not efficient. Trading one Marine for a Baneling is not going to cut it. And we do see that the +3 attack upgrade for Complain is now going to be on the way. Now at least the 4th base is up and running. He's mining from it. He's currently at 82 drones, so he was able to drone up a little bit behind us, but he is down in army supply. It is currently 52 army supply against 78. And that is good news for Complain, and he really wants to press the issue right now. A lot of Banelings are on the map, however, and a lot of Mulets too, but the Thor will be joining this army very shortly. It's gonna be a little bit of poking and prodding. Of course, Complain does not want to step forward on that creep, so he will try and take it out as slowly as possible, actually, to not take a bad engagement. 14 more Banelings are just finishing up. They will be able to roll forward. Still, if he takes an engagement off of the creep, he's not going to have a very good time with that. And again, a beautiful Widowmine detonation, clearing out all of those Banelings right there. That is also always a very difficult trade for Violet to make. That patch is being very good for any Terran player here. 50 more Banelings on the production tab, but all of the ground army for Violet has been decimated. He's still mining off of the 4 base, but there is just so many Marines behind this. Oh, the Thor gets picked off by killing off the medevac. That's a very painful loss right there. But the Mulus count still okay-ish. You'd like to have it a lot higher. And don't forget, behind this Complain is getting his 4th base going. He is not slipping up back at home, letting his money get extremely high. He's really staying below a very good point. Slowly but surely, Complain is taking that supply advantage a little bit. All of those Marines so insanely low. He really needs to heal up because he cannot stim this army anymore. Now the medevacs are pretty low on health. He should take a little bit of time, otherwise those Zerglings will be able to even clean this up. And a few Muta shots will finish this up too. But the +3 attack upgrade for Complain is about to finish up. And with the +3 done, those Zerglings and Banelings will get shredded. Now this is the big tug of war that is going to decide the game mostly. If you are able to take a decisive fight right here, you're going to be in a very good position later on in the game. Now Complain really microing that Thor, trying to get it into a good position, and this is a good position. The Thor, of course, prioritizing the Mutalisk before anything else. He tries to lift it up in the medevac. That's a risky move, because then Thor has a lot more health than those Mutalisk, of course. The Banelings and the Zerglings all been shredded once again. The Thor still alive, being at 32 hit points. That is barely anything. One more volley from the Mutalisk and it will be cleaned up. Even the Banelings will be able to clean it up right now. But remember, the +3 attack upgrade for Complain is done. He still does not want to step on top of that creep, and the creep is still there. A really nice move from Complain, but those Mutalisks are getting pretty low. Overall in this game, 18 Mutalisks have been killed off. That's quite a bit. The power of Zerg is to keep those Mutalisks alive and to regenerate at health quite easily and come in at a later stage. Those Mutalisks all very low. Zerg can get a nice wrap around. This army of Complain will get cleaned up. But at what cost? Complain still at 160 hit points right now. Violet at 120. Now we do see more Zerglings on the way. Some Banelings being morphed in. But there are not a whole lot left anymore. He is trading them away to the best of his capabilities. But those Widow Mines are really starting to pull their weight, and Violet is slipping at this point. He cannot go and get that infestation, but he does not have the money for it. He cannot go to Hive, he does not have the time for it, and he cannot get the 3-3 to get those upgrades done. Now another set of Banelings was just morphed in, but already he moves forward, and it is being stopped by the wall of Complain. Complain takes the win after the GG of Violet, and that was a very nice example of a good tug of war. Complain just reinforcing over and over again, and Violet trying to get the good engagement, but Complain refusing to take a single engagement on the creep, and he was able to trade quite a bit more cost efficiently right there. But that was it for this cast. Thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you liked it, of course. And I see you next time on Phobos Starcraft.